What's going on, y'all? In this video, I want to talk about why being fit and self-aware puts people on notice. Okay, so first, what am I talking about when I say puts people on notice? What I mean is when you're in shape, when you are self-aware, when you carry yourself a certain way. When you got good posture, when you walk through life as a man of integrity. You know what I mean? You're disciplined. You're confident within yourself. This puts people on notice. All right, people. And what I mean more so is people take notice of you without you even realizing it. So over the past 2 days, I've had like three different interactions with people at my job that really spoke to me in a certain way. All right. And I wanted to kind of just share that with you. And let's just go ahead and just get into the video. All right. So I was leaving my job yesterday, and there's this guy who works across the street from the restaurant. And he does, like, the people that they clean your headlights, not clean them, but they make them look like they're brand new when they get old and cloudy and stuff like that. Well, he repairs those and he makes them look like brand new. His name's John. Really older guy. He's always out there just kind of hanging out. And I've made small talk with him in the past. He's like, hey, man, when are you going to get your lights cleaned up? Et cetera, et cetera. So I'm walking past him yesterday, leaving work, and he was like, he's sitting back in his little lounge chair. He has a nice little lounge chair where he waits when he was waiting for the customers to pull up. And he's like, so what? He's like, so what do you do with the rest of your day? And I'm like, and I'm walking past him. I kind of smile. I'm like, man, it's funny you should ask, man. I'm like, well, I go work out. And I said, I got a very small YouTube channel that I create content for. And, it's really to help men, become more emotionally stable. It's about self-mastery and personal development and stuff like that. And he's like, oh man, you're doing God's work out here. He's like, man, that's very commendable, this and that. And it was just one of those moments where I was kind of like thinking to myself, like, damn, I wonder what made him ask me that. So that was one instance. And then today when I was that happened yesterday. And then today when I'm at work, there's this other guy. It's funny enough, his name is John too. Both of these guys' name is John. And this guy, John, who's eating at the restaurant with his lady, he's like a regular. He comes in quite often. I've seen him once. I saw him last week, or it might have been the week before. And he came in, and I noticed he had lost some weight. And I said something to him about it. I was like, hey, man, you been in the gym lately? And he's like, nah, man, but I have lost some weight. I was like, yeah, man, it shows. You're looking good. And he's like, thanks, man, thanks. And I've only made small talk with him up to this point, in our interactions. I have to wait on him, so I make little small talk, but I haven't really delved into deep conversations with him. So today, it was after I went and filled up some of his drinks for him and his wife or whatever, and I was walking away. I just heard my name. I was like, I heard Bryce. I turned around. I didn't even know if I really heard my name. And he was like, Bryce, come here for a sec. And he's like, what do you do outside of this? So this is the second time I'm getting asked this question. He's like, what do you do outside of this? I was like, man, honestly, man, I have a YouTube channel that I create content for, and I got a coaching business that I'm trying to build, where I help men, and I kind of give them the whole spiel, like I just said about what I just shared with the other dude, personal development, kind of unlearning unhealthy patterns and learning how to get out of our own way as men. That's my purpose with this channel, and I think that's my purpose in this life. And so I shared that with him right then and there. He's like, oh man. He's like, I knew that you had to be doing more than just this. I was like, yeah, man, I'm just kind of trying to work on that. He's like, man, we should connect. He's like, I do coaching. And he's like, I'm not doing it right now. I'm more in the construction. I'm working in the construction industry. He's like, but I've done coaching as well too. He's like, we should connect. He's like, what's your number? And I give him my number. He plugs it in. And, so that was the second instance that I had. And then within 20 or 30 minutes after this interaction, there was this other couple that is a regular at my restaurant too. And I walked by and I filled, their name is, Steve and whatever his wife's name is. And I walked up to their table, just kind of, I think I was dropping some drinks, or I was just walking by checking on them. Hey, Bryce, how you doing, man? And then right then and there, he goes, Bryce, what else do you do besides this? And I'm like, okay, this is the damn third time I didn't got this question. Is there something on my face or some shit? Do I look do I just look like an individual who should be doing more with his life? That's kind of the first voice that goes in my head. Okay, I keep getting that. But also, I'm feeling confident in shit. You know what I'm saying? I also feel good. I also know who I am. I also know how I carry myself. and I know how I walk through this restaurant and just through life, right? So I know there's more to it than this. And if you watch my videos, you already know I'm a pretty deep dude. So I take everything deeper than just the surface level. So I'm like, damn, that's the third time I didn't got asked that. And I give them the same spiel. You know, I got a small YouTube channel. I'm working on a coaching business that I'm trying to build. And then they start asking me more questions. Like, he's like, man, he's like, do you like read a lot of books or something? Like, you're just very articulate. You know, you carry yourself a certain way. And, so without getting all too deep into it, I was like, yeah, I definitely read books, listen to podcasts. I'm a YouTube guy. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I'm all about evolving and growing as a man, and being mindful and learning how to be in the present moment. And I'm saying all this stuff, and they're like, oh wow, yeah, me too, man. I've had to work on this as well. And we start talking about our kids. We start talking about just like growing up as just becoming a better man, being more emotionally resilient, being emotionally stable, overthinking. We're talking about all these little things in a short period of time, right? And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, that's the third time I got hit with this question in a very short span of time. And in the back of my mind, I already know what it is. It's because of how I carry myself. And that's what I want to share with you too. Okay. When you start taking yourself a bit more seriously in life, okay, when you start pouring into yourself a certain way, and it can be, working out, it can be finding purpose, it can be moving in integrity. And it's the small things too, man. When you walk through life with your chin up, your chest out, your posture is right. When you speak a certain way, when people see you and you're kind of always like this grounded individual who is never really flustered, where the moment's never really getting the best of you, this says a lot to people when you can do this. This is what I'm talking about, puts people on notice about you. It's almost like it creates this mystery around you. Like, who is this dude? What is this dude about? There's more to this dude. This dude is deeper than just the surface. And now I'm not telling you, I don't want you to be watching this video to say, oh man, I need to go work out so that, I can be perceived as a deeper dude and like I got more purpose and more things going on in my life. Nah. That's clown shit. You're not doing this for that reason. What I'm sharing is just a residual effect of what happens when you take yourself more seriously. All right, let that sink in. Okay. When you start taking yourself more seriously, when you do start working out, when you do start building your foundation, your physical presence. Let me make sure my mic is on. It should be acting weird sometimes. When you do start doing that, people can't help but notice it. And the cool thing about this and all those examples that I shared with you, it's funny how like you can build connections through this. That's what I'm talking about too. It's not just, hey man, start working out so you build muscles and people think that you're whatever, think you're the shit, whatever. It's not really about that. Again, that's a byproduct of it. That comes with the territory. But what I'm saying is like, you never know who's watching. You never know who might be like, that motherfucker who is watching you and is like, this motherfucker right here got something to him. Let me see if I can plug him in to what I do. Let me see if I can pick his brain a little bit and see what this guy is about, and maybe we can connect on some type stuff. That's what it does too. When you are fit and you are self-aware and you carry yourself through life like you know that you're fit and you know that you're a self-aware dude. You know the work that goes into doing this. You can put yourself in a position to where you can almost create more opportunities for yourself. You know what I mean? I don't know that these conversations are gonna lead to anything, and I'm not really chasing that. Now, the one John that I spoke to, who was actually a coach, I'm intrigued to engage with him because it sounds like he's already done where I'm trying to get. So that's what I mean. You'll put yourself in positions to where you might run into somebody whose purpose is similar to yours, and you don't even know it, and they might be able to put you up on game. And that's what I mean by certain opportunities can present themselves when you carry yourself through your life in a certain way. Now think about it. Think about the overweight dude. The overweight dude who's carrying himself through life, his clothes falling off of him, his head is down, he's got terrible posture. People are looking at him a certain way too. People are looking at they might not be like, damn, what else? Wonder what else he does outside of here. Maybe they are thinking that, but it might be like in a negative sense. Like, damn, he look like he just get off and go eat. He look like he don't know how to put the fork down. You see what I'm saying? So it really is, perception is reality. How you carry yourself, what your physical presentation is, how you're packaged says a lot to people. It says this guy looks like he's capable. This guy looks like he can do more than where he's at in his life right now. Matter of fact, I know he got to be doing more. Look at him. Let me ask him what he does. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the aspect of being able to just build your foundation, work on your self-awareness so that you're aware of how you carry yourself through life, work on being more mindful, work on being in the moment more, man. Be present with people. Be present in your conversations with people. When I'm talking to these folks, and I'm telling them too when I'm talking to them, I'm talking about certain books that I've read, the Four Agreements. I talk about that on my channel all the time. When I'm talking to them, I'm like, yeah, man, I had to learn how to be more mindful. I had to learn how to be more present. He's like, oh yeah, man. Me too, man. Like, I'm like, had to learn, like when I'm talking to y'all right now, I'm not thinking about my grocery list. I'm right here where my feet are right now. This has allowed me to like enhance the quality of my life. And they're right with me. These folks are on the same frequency that I'm on. And I know that some people who are watching this video, you might not be on this frequency. You might be watching this and be like, yo, just talk about working out, talk about getting laid. Look, it's all encompassing, man. This is all this shit that I'm talking about is what makes you a complete man. Again, it's not just about working out to look good it's not just about working out to look good in the mirror. That's going to happen. And I hope that you do appreciate the work you put in when you do look in the mirror. I hope you do get to that point. I hope that you start to bust your ass in the gym and start to take your physical well-being seriously, as well as your emotional well-being and your self-awareness. And when I say emotional well-being, I think when people hear it, the word emotions, they get turned off by it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he talking about that bitch shit. He talking about that soft ass shit. No, bro. I'm talking about your ability to be able to be grounded at all times. Not to say that you're like a robot and nothing's going to knock you off your square sometimes, but you won't get knocked off your square so often and so frequently. If a storm or a strong gust of wind comes through your life, you still are able to withstand it. That's why it's important to build your physical armor while also building that emotional, intellectual armor as well. It's important to improve your mindset as well. I think a lot of our problems, man, I'm gonna get super deep right here, man. Build your frame, build your physical frame, but also, man, be working on not believing all the stories that you tell yourself in your head, man. Learning how to not take everything so personally. Learning how to not overthink everything so much. Learning how to walk through life with a sense of resilience within yourself. Walking through life in a way of where like you're comfortable with discomfort. You know, somebody says something to you slick, you're not so knocked off your square so easily. You learn how to kind of recognize that something was said and it might have, rubbed you the wrong way a little bit, but you don't react so impulsively to it. You have more an internal patience within yourself. You're able to kind of slow the fuck down and just be like, I don't even got to give that my attention. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it pissed me off. Yeah, I'm pissed off up in here, but also I'm aware of the story I'm telling myself about what was just said and what's going on in this moment. This person could be having a bad day as well, and it might be pouring out of them in that way. Does that mean they need to be disrespectful to me? No. And I might have to set a boundary with that person. But not to get too much off on a tangent, what I'm trying to say about being a complete man. When you walk through life and you embody integrity, discipline, confidence, self-respect, when you are a walking billboard of it, a walking sign that says, yo, this is what I do, people take notice. People recognize that. They can't help but recognize it. They got to give you respect. They extend their hand and they shake your hand and say, who are you? What's your name? Because you leave a lasting impression on them when your body and your emotional, your mindset, your level of awareness of who you are, when those are all fucking tied in together, that is what makes you a dangerous man. That's the truth, man. It's not just about building muscle. Yes, go build your muscle, but you got to build your mental muscle too. You got to stop taking everything so personally, all right? You got to learn how to be more grounded. When I say grounded, I mean like learn how to regulate yourself when you get pissed off. Learn how to bring yourself back down to zero without cussing somebody else, without cussing somebody out or wanting to fight or blowing things up or becoming super aggressive and making sure they understand where you're coming from. That's what causes us a lot of problems. So I want you to understand, like in these videos, man, I ain't just talking about just working out, bro. It's deeper than just working out. Anybody could do some push-ups. Well, you know what I mean. Anybody could, but not everybody will. So in order for you to become more of a complete, well-rounded man, well-rounded individual, for women too, if this resonates with you, make sure that you're working on your emotional intelligence, man. Make sure that you're working on that self-awareness. I'm telling you, all that is going to make you more of a complete package. Women go love it. Women, they're going to love being around you. You can make them feel emotionally safe when you know how to make yourself feel emotionally safe within your own skin. Couple that with some biceps, some nice looking shoulders, a solid back. Bro, come on, man. You already know you're gonna be killing the game. So again, I want to be clear in this video, man. This shit is not just about vanity. It's not just about what you see in the mirror. Part of it is because you should like what you see in the mirror. You should appreciate what you see in the mirror. You should know that I put in work to look like this. And that work that I put in, it has also built my discipline. It's hotter than a motherfucker out here too. I'm sweating my ass off. It's built my discipline. It's built my confidence within myself. It's allowed me to feel comfortable within my skin, my own skin, who I am. That's where I want you to get. And at the same time, I want you to become an emotionally stable individual who knows how to regulate his emotions when he gets pissed off, when he feels disrespected and he's not lashing out at people and he has more self-control. He's not on autopilot and he just carries himself through this life like a man of integrity. That's what this message is about. So if this video brought you any value, please smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Also, you know, if you're into the working out thing, man, if you're into body game and you want to watch some more videos about that, make sure you check out my playlist on body game. And I think that's all I got for y'all, man. All right. I'll see you on the next video, man. Peace.